Welcome to Gray Overload. I'm Anthony. I'm excited to take a quick look at the Ryzen 3 and give my thoughts on that. So let's dive in. AMD released Ryzen 3 last week, and it's an interesting little product here, especially competing up against Intel. It kind of fills out the line of the Ryzen 3, 5, and 7 line against the i3, 5, and 7 line as well. And we got Threadripper going up against the i9 here very soon in a couple days, and Intel's finishing out that line as well. But it's very interesting that AMD finally is in a competition that I've been waiting to see for 10 years to finally get some more innovation in this segment and push Intel forward and create even better products as well. I've been using systems a lot with Intel over the past couple of years. It's nice to have a choice depending upon what workloads I'm doing and be able to go there. I have a Ryzen system here, but I use a lot of Intel systems at work as well. And so I kind of get to see those benefits between the two, and I'm excited that I finally can see difference in benefits between the two rather than just only having one choice. But then the Ryzen line here, they launched two processors, the Ryzen 3 line I should say, and that is the 1200, the Ryzen 3 1200, and then the Ryzen 3 1300X. And to start out with the small guy first, the 1200 is going to be $109, so that's a great entry price in. I think Intel i3 is around that starting point as well, and so that makes it a very interesting competing. This one has 4 cores and 4 threads, where I think all the i3 line, and correct me if I'm wrong here, is 2 cores and 4 threads, so they're slightly different there, and I'm excited to see how Intel responds here with the next line of processors, the 8th generation as well, especially with this Ryzen 3 line, to see where that goes. So on the 1200, which is 4 cores, 4 threads, a base clock of 3.1 gigahertz, and then 3.4 gigahertz turbo speed. So you got a nice little boost clock on there of 300 megahertz and 65 watts. So it's a nice kind of low power-ish processor. You know, I like to see it lower, especially if I want to put it into like a mini ITX or whatever, where it's just doing some basic, stuff. It's hooked up to maybe my TV or whatever, a home theater. I like to see it a little bit lower, but it's an option for me. And it's got 2 megs of total L2 cache. And this was an interesting part to me, is they said the max memory is 2667, and it actually comes with a cooler on it as well, which is another little bonus. So you don't have to go buy another cooler, which is the Wrath Stealth as well. So that's a little bit about that guy. And then if you go to the 1300X, that's going to be a same thing, 4 cores, 4 threads, but it's going to be a 3.5 gigahertz base clock and then a 3.7 boost, which is, or max turbo clock is what they call it. So you got 200 megahertz there, still 65 watts, but it's going to be $129. So you got a $20 difference between the two. And it's 2 megs and 2667 memory as well. So L2 cache was 2 megs. I should clarify that, as well as it has a Wrath Stealth cooler as well. So these were kind of interesting overall. I was like, oh wow. And what made it even more interesting for this price point is that they are VR ready. So this is a nice little entry point for gamers, I feel, especially if games start doing more multi-threading, which I hope they do, especially with a lot of more of these higher core count CPUs that are out. This might be a good buy. If you're doing a lot of single threading stuff, stick with the Intel stuff, because they got a lot better single threading performance than the AMD CPUs have at this time. But when you look at the Intel side, you do have a lot of 2 cores, 4 threads, and if you're on the fence about it, there might be some other CPUs like in the Pentium line as well that might be a better buy for you if that's something you're looking at. I know that Intel has changed some things there as well, but I think that this Ryzen line, and my thoughts on it, and competing with the Intel line, and I'll do a separate video on Intel when new processors come out, is that the AMD line offers a benefit to users that if they have certain scenarios, this is going to be a benefit to them. Like maybe if they're gaming with a lot of games that have multi-threaded scenarios, or they're doing a multi-threaded video or whatever, or compression, or encoding, or whatever they need to, and that their only option is at this price point they need to have something. This is a good option for them that then they can have a benefit from. But if you're doing some single threading performance, you do maybe MP3 encodings and stuff like that, it's not going to offer you that great of benefit, and I would go with Intel in there. But at least AMD is back in the realm where they can offer a benefit to users to be able to have a CPU option of choice to help drive the industry forward, so we actually get better tech here in the next upcoming years. So I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for taking the time and helping grow the channel, and leave your comments below. I'm excited to read them. I like enjoying to hear what you say, good, bad, or indifferent. So again, I want to thank you for watching. Thanks for watching Gray Overload. If you like this content, be sure to subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Gray Overload.